Today's topic, why men exist to serve women. Okay? I'm your host. Now, this is a very interesting topic, and you probably clicked on this video because you were either a woman reading the title and saying, hell yeah, absolutely, or you were a man reading that title and saying, what the is he talking about? Well, you're about to find out. Okay. Yes, there has been a bit of a gender war going on for some time now. You might say it started at or around feminism. Okay. Since then, there has been an ongoing power struggle between the two genders. With this power struggle, the pendulum of leverage has been in constant swing, sometimes favoring men and other times favoring women, depending on the situation. Okay? There has been and have been many books, articles, and even YouTube channels dedicated to teaching people of one gender how to manipulate people of the opposite gender. But for what purpose, you ask? For what purpose? Well, for the purpose of getting what they want, okay? For women, it is often to get a man to commit, become more attached, or be more generous with his resources and time, okay? And for men, it is often to get easier and faster sexual access. Big surprise there, right? Yes, and more loyalty and commitment from women as well in some cases, okay? While on the surface this all might look sad, pathetic, or even antisocial, it all stems from the same place, okay? The desire, okay? The desire for both genders to not get used or taken advantage of. You see, by engaging the opposite gender in a way that ensures you will get what you want out of them, you ultimately avoid wasting your time on someone who will take from you and give very little or nothing back in return. Okay? The gender war is all about avoiding a raw deal within your romantic relationships. Okay, but, even after years of discussion, books, articles, coaching classes, seminars, counselors, and life coaches, the same problems persist in romantic relationships today. Why? Why? The reason is likely to surprise you. The reason is simply fear, the four-letter word that starts with F, but isn't profane. F-E-A-R, fear. The fear of getting taken advantage of is what makes relationships toxic. In other words, people with such a fear have already lost the game before they even started playing. Their relationships were doomed from day one. Okay? Now, let me explain. You might be saying this is absurd. Not wanting to be taken advantage of is a very rational fear. Yes, it is. You are correct. It is a very rational fear. However, designing your life around your fears rather than your ambitions will actually ruin your ambitions. Okay? Fear will stop you in your tracks and suppress you. Okay? Per example, your ambition is to be, a singer, okay? But you fear making a mistake while performing. So, what ends up happening? Either you chicken out of performing altogether, or you perform half-ass because you are so focused on not making mistakes. Okay? Think about it. Rather than focusing on your ambition, rather than focusing on your dream, your passion, where you want to be, you are instead focusing on what can go wrong. You are instead focusing on your fears. And this is the very thing that sabotages you, okay? This is the very thing that sabotages you. In the end, you lose. You lose before you even start. So, what is the solution? Going back to the topic of romance, what is the solution to the gender war? What is the solution? What? Well, the solution is quite simple. And this is where the title of this video comes into play. Because you might be asking, why is a video called what it is called? That men exist to serve women. What are you talking about? Well, now you get to find out. The solution to the problem in romantic relationships, the solution to the gender war, is understanding your role and being willing to play it. Okay? Now you might be saying that is way too simple, and I don't believe in gender wars. It is now way past the 1950s. Well, that is not what I am talking about. You see, the two genders exist to complement each other within the domain of a romantic relationship. And forget social and societal gender roles. This is much deeper than that. The only true gender role is to serve your partner, yes. The role of the man is to serve the woman, and the role of the woman is to serve the man. If you are in a homosexual relationship, then yes, the man's role is to serve the other man, and the woman's role is to serve the other woman. But at the end of the day, you should be of service to your partner. That is what you are there for. You are there to serve them. They are there to serve you. It is not a power struggle. It is unselfish giving. That is the way it is supposed to be. That is what worked in the past when men and women need each other to survive and thrive. But in the modern world, the individual man and the individual woman do not need each other to survive and thrive. So they take a much more self-centered approach to their relationships, which in turn leads to very many games and manipulations, such as what we have today, and then the resulting misogyny and misandry that comes out of these games and manipulations because people feel taken advantage of, used, and abused. Okay? The problem we have today is everyone wants gender roles for their partner, but not for themselves. They want to be served, but they don't want to be of service. This is like walking into a restaurant and expecting everything on the menu for free. Furthermore, much of that fear people have of being taken advantage of by their lovers is really just a fear that they have nothing to offer. Okay? You see, when you know you have something of value to offer, you are also aware that a lot of people want what you have, and thus you will have lots of opportunities to serve. Because the more you have to offer, the more people want your service. And the more people want your service, the more opportunities you will have to sell your service, because you have so much service to provide. Because you have so much service to provide, many people will want your service and offer you service in exchange for it. This is known as abundance, and that is a new but old mindset. That is the most healthy mindset to have in romantic relationships, that of abundance. That of, I have so much to offer and so much love to give, service to give, that I will inevitably find somebody who has something of equal or greater value to serve me as well. And I will enter a relationship with the goal of service, not necessarily to take, but to serve. And if I see that that partner is not equally willing to serve, I will then retract my service. It's really that simple. You cannot be taken advantage of unless you allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Anyway, it is those who either can't or don't or won't be of service. These are the people who need to resort to manipulations. The people who need to be The people who need to resort to manipulations are often those who have the least to offer, and they know it. They know they have little to offer, so they must rely on these games and manipulations to get what they want from the opposite gender. Okay? In other words, these are people who want something for nothing, much like a con artist who needs to trick their mark because the con artist offers nothing of value and they know it. And if they knew, the con artist would not succeed at getting anything from the mark because the mark would be aware that the con artist has nothing of value to provide for them. Okay? Much of the game of romance has turned into faking value, pretending you offer more than you actually do in order to essentially get the service you want without having to provide any service in return. Okay? Such a game can only work in the short term. Because if you are not fulfilling your role to serve in a relationship, you will never be fulfilled or loved in that relationship. Okay? You must show up prepared to serve, not prepared to take. Okay? Those who are willing to pay the price are those who will get the goods. So, everyone needs to stop whining and complaining about the other gender, the opposite gender. Instead, focus on how you can serve them. Only then will you get the love, attention, and sex you want from them. Okay? The more you have to provide, the more you have to serve, the more you have to give, the more you will receive. People often wonder why. Why do these rich and famous celebrities get free things from expensive name brand, luxury brand companies? Why do they get free cars and free clothes and free etc. while your average Joe on the street or your poor person has to pay full price and has no access to it, while these rich and famous people are getting them for free? Well, it comes back to the same principle. Those rich and famous people, they are perceived as having more to give than your average person. And because they have more to give than the average person, they offer more value than the average person. But because they have more to give, more want to give to them. The more you have to give, the more people want to give to you. The less you have to give, the less people want to give to you.
Objection, Your Honor. Can we clarify to the court whether the witness is stating opinion or fact?
This is your opinion?
It's a fact.
Fees to the vendors in the thousands of dollars to lease out land that you don't even own.
Yeah? Well, it seems to me the church has plenty in its coffers for all those pedophilia lawsuits.
I want what I am entitled to.
You're entitled to shit.
Okay. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel. And leave your comments, your insults, your arguments in the comments below. Okay. Watch my other videos. I have plenty of other videos. Please feel free to watch them. And any suggestions, topics you'd like this channel to cover, feel free to suggest. Okay. Cheers.